It is time to free ourselves, my friends. Everyone, metaphorically speaking, can relate to this. There's all kinds of aspects of our lives that we don't necessarily identify with or that we wouldn't choose. Ours is not necessarily a voluntary society. Although I would say, look at how beautiful we are. We are indomitable. We are incredible. Look at all the ways that we love and we create. And yet the lines, the systems are somehow deadening to the spirit and demoralizing. Fewest number of outdoor gathering places in all first world nations. Most intense statistics that relate to social isolation in terms of murder and rape and theft and all forms of violence in our country. So beyond reason, we don't even talk about it. It's time, though, to go into a different dream. Remember the things that are super important to us, the best advice that we ever had and everything that matters in this world. It may be true that the time is short, but what we're really missing is the opportunity to be ourselves. To stand up and start to twist, to use all of the leverage that we can, and fucking free our first left hand through the spike. And even if our arms are broken, leverage our thighs out from the spikes below, fall to the ground and look up and see our friends in similar conditions and realize, wow, if I can just be myself, maybe I can inspire them too. Walk across the ground on broken feet and start to push to try to help your friends. And even if you collapse, guess what? You'll be caught. Someone will be there to catch you, even when you run out of energy and inspiration, because you have stood up. And then others will stand up too. And they'll say, we're done with this. These cruel stumps of death are no symbol of the tree of life, as Joseph Campbell said. We're done with this. We will have a voluntary world, and we will take care of our children. We will not go to work when any child is being victimized. No, that is our first work. Except the point, as Walt Whitman says, isn't just to reject everything that insults your soul. It's to reclaim the story, to reclaim the metaphor. And about the tree of life, is it just about death, or is it about life? Is it about freaking life? Is it about freaking time, and space, and life? You may not know this about Portland, Oregon, but we have become the most incredible place. Back in the 60s and 70s, the inner city was dying, sprawl was sucking the life out of the city. All these vacancies downtown, people were wondering what was going to happen. And for some reason, we created this public square against the wishes of the mayor. The mayor, Frank Ivins, he said, no way, we can't have a public square. That'll facilitate a revolution. And all these people are like, absolutely. So we're out here on a weekend painting the rooftop of the old Myron Frank parking garage without permission, seriously pissing off the mayor. He's like, you can't do that. And we're like, we totally can't. We're doing it now. Space into place. Okay. You know what this did? This was like a giant acupuncturist came along and put pressure, just touched the city in the perfect place. And you know what happened from that? Portland, Oregon is the most sustainable city in the United States in only a few decades. It has the most green buildings, the first in declining car use per capita. We're driving less every year. The most bike commuters and the most bike lane miles by far, the most and best microbreweries. It has the nation's strongest local food systems. Wait a second, nobody intended to have the best beer. But look what happens when we seize our lives. Okay, the nation's toughest anti-sprawl ordinances, the first city to adopt a formal plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, the first city to have campaign finance reform and publicly owned elections, the first streetcar system in the USA in the last 50 years, the strongest and most active neighborhood association system in the nation. By 2.5 times, we have the most hybrid cars, the first to mandate biodiesel content in all diesel. And this thing goes on for pages. Jesus, Moses. This is what we're doing, and now we know it. We acted up on our own behalf. We said, let's be local and think global. And guess what happens? And this is what is happening. Portland, Oregon is a story that is traveling faster than decisions about power or commerce or trade can through the global network of cities. The story of Portland is traveling quickly. Every awesome thing we do inspires people that are living in situations across the globe. And guess what they're realizing too? Oh my God, we're villagers. Except one thing, don't just focus on saving the world. The key is to savor the world. Party, love, beauty, All these things are the ultimate strategy. There is no tank stronger than beauty and love. Only we, villagers, can create and destroy. The first thing we did in city repair was to take the idea of a great sacred womb space back from our story and put it into Selwood in southeast Portland and build this thing. All great womb spaces or great meeting houses are based on womb space. So this is our architectural plan. When you came up to the tea house, which ran every Monday night, it was called the Moon Day Tea House in celebration of the Divine Feminine. You saw this hammer glowing with a single candle behind it, and it was the T of the tea house saying, time to act, time to create. You walk in here and you see that everything was made out of branches and old pallets and windows, doors and windows created the perimeter of the space. It would flicker at night with over 100 candles. And then, when it was really dark and it was filled with people, then all the doors and windows would open because they were all made to open. The entire perimeter would dissolve because we were saying walls can be turned into doors and windows and you can move through them. Great metaphorical space that was woven into a living garden because we were saying nature and humanity are not separate, unlike what modernism teaches all designers in architecture and planning. We literally went out into the streets when there was no space left in the tea house or on the lawn or all the adjacent lawns around the intersection. The only place for the gypsy caravan to dance was in the intersection. We closed the streets, we blocked traffic, and then the gypsy caravan danced for 45 minutes with their full complement of musicians, and then the dancers pulled hundreds and hundreds of neighbors into the streets for this great epiphany. Then we started to meet in meeting houses to talk about what in the world was going on, why in the world did we all know each other and we had no place before. Here's neighborhood historian Eileen talking about westward expansion, the Roman grid, and all these people like, no, Thomas Jefferson, they told us in high school he invented it. He was a good guy, didn't he make the grid? And she's like, absolutely not. It's super ancient and super awful. So we're like, all right. During one of those meetings, somebody said, all right, if somebody put the grid over the circles of our ancestors, by God, maybe it is time to put the circle back. We called the Department of Transportation. We said, hey, we've got a really good idea. We just know we'll slow traffic and raise livability. They're like, absolutely not. That's never been done before. That's impossible. You know what? I'm so sick of impossible. Like, everything started off being impossible, apparently. Like, let's see, bread was impossible. Windshields, definitely impossible. Like, singing was impossible, dancing. Like, there was even one point where this monkey was like, hey, wait, you guys, I think, and this other monkey's like, no, that's impossible, no, let's kill that guy. And they're, no, wait, I think I can put one foot in front of the other, no, wait. They're like, it's impossible. Like, everything, cheese was impossible. Like, a roof was impossible. This was not impossible. We did this illegally. Within a few months it was legalized, not only for Selwood, but for all 96 neighborhoods to do in the city of Portland to an unlimited number of street intersections for free. The city council voted unanimously to do this because we said, United States of America, lowest number of gathering places in the world, of all first world nations, highest incidence of strife related to not even knowing each other. City council was like, holy Moses, and they totally passed it. So here we are being criminals before it was passed. Criminals, villagers, criminals, it's all the same. Being yourself is apparently a criminal act. All right, and pretty soon you've got the world's first solar-powered self-service 24-hour tea station here on the southwest corner. All these projects being built, the effect going down the streets. We never anticipated that people would start doing things cooperatively blocks away. More and more gardens happening, all these different, like, people falling in love, new children being created, like, amazing. This incredible permaculture demonstration project, the first major natural building built in the city. You'll get to see this year during the BBC. This is BBC #1, built in 2001. People started taking down fences between their yards to put in diagonal pathways. They're like, we're tired of walking straight lines all the time. I'm sick of these 90-degree angles all the time. I want to walk diagonally. So all these projects on the corners started growing. This house, this old lady hadn't been able to paint her house since 1966. The neighbors bought her paint, pressure washed her house, painted it for her. We all bought the food. These are the kinds of stories. Renters buy their houses. These two neighbors get together and make another little neighbor here. City starts surveying what's going on. They find 90% of the people say that the intersection has become safer. There's less crime in the neighborhood. The Oregonian won't even report it. Oh, can't talk about solutions. This is what we got now. Is this a good idea? I mean, if I gotta be a criminal in order to be a villager, absolutely. Arrest me every time. Is this a better place to live? Will your children be safer? Will you be able to get a cup of sugar if you need it? Like, what if there's a fire? People will be there to put it out. Like, it goes on and on. But literally, you know what the American Journal of Public Health has told us now after studying this stuff? These people have lost weight. They're mentally healthier, and crime has actually dropped. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And it happened again. Wait, are you telling me that somehow the Village Crossroads is inherent to human nature? Maybe so. And then it happened again. This is all in Portland. And again. And again. And again. And again. And again. And again. And a few more times too. So this has been the plan all over the city, knowing full well that we are part of a system. And all we have to do to inspire systemic change, engender systemic change, is be